Hey friends, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. Okay, I want to get you into a couple chapters today that I think you'll appreciate. We're going to Revelation 20 and Revelation 21 and just hit on a couple little principles here. So chapter 20, we are introduced to the time period which is called the Millennium, which is so exciting to think about that. 1,000 years of peace where Christ will reign personally upon the earth. We are given some interesting insight just in the first couple verses of Revelation 20, where it says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years." That is a long time, my friends. "And cast him into the bottomless pit." And here's three of the coolest words in here: shut him up. How would you like to have that happen in your life? Have Satan just completely shut up as far as his influence goes, and set a seal on him that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed for a little season. Hopefully that little season is like a couple weeks or so, right? The question here is, how do you bind an unembodied spirit? How do you put a chain around an individual that does not have a body? The way to do it is you just don't listen to him. It's kind of like what we talked about yesterday. How do you make it so the great and spacious building, how do you make it so the beast does not have power? You do not give attention to that beast and you focus on Jesus Christ. That is what will bind him. Now, cool quote from Spencer W. Kimball years ago about the millennium. He said, "When Satan is bound in a single home, when Satan is bound in a single life, the millennium has already begun in that home and in that life." Why should we wait for the 1,000 years to happen? We stop listening to him now. And I understand that is easier said than done, but that is how you bind an unembodied spirit, is you just don't listen to him. So maybe some people give him a little bit more attention during that time period. It's kind of like that time period in the Book of Mormon where you had all of the people right after the Savior came for years and years just were working together, and then all of a sudden a little pride crept in, and that's what started to allow Satan back into people's lives. So that's just an interesting insight that you see right here from chapter 20. Now you go over to chapter 21, we get a chance to see what is called the celestial city. Now this is awesome. "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there were no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." Now we'll talk more about what that looks like here in a couple of days, but just focusing on this particular city, it actually goes in and gives you some descriptions of this. Like, for example, verse number 12, it talks about a wall great and high, 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So you've got all of the 12 tribes represented right there. And you've got gates here also, not designed to keep people out, but designed to be able to protect. Now you go down to verse number 19, and it says, "The foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones." Then it goes in and lists 12 different stones that are all representative of the house of Israel. Now, one of the things I saw here that I think you'll appreciate, this is from S. Michael Wilcox, who's a wonderful speaker and teacher, teaches some wonderful things about the book of Revelation in a book called Finding Personal Meaning in the Book of Revelation. This is what he said about these stones. He said, "When we understand what crystal and precious gems, gold, clear glass, and pearls have in common, we will grasp what these images are saying about the holy city. None of these decay. They have no impurities that make them tarnish, rust, spoil, decompose, or change their consistency. They all reflect light. They are symbols of beauty, refinement, and uncorrupted richness, for the city is eternal and unchanging." So when I started thinking about this is a beautiful, pure, angelic place with 12 gates for all Israel to enter in. One of my friends posted this the other day, and I thought this was so cool. He posted a picture of the Bountiful Utah Temple, which is the first temple that was built in Davis County here in Utah. Now you look at the picture of the Bountiful Temple right here, it's a beautiful picture. You look at the number of little gates right there, there are 12 of them. Now this is one interpretation to be able to look at this, but this is where we're really looking at the temple and seeing how the temple is something where we are gathering Israel, all of the tribes, and what are we doing? We're bringing them to the holy city. We're taking them and we're getting them to the temple. And this is what will really be a big focus during the millennium, is we're doing all of this temple work. We're getting people there. We're gathering Israel to be able to get people to this beautiful holy city. So I love this idea of that millennial time period where we will focus on the temple and have that gathering be such a great thing to do, which is interesting because it's what President Nelson has asked us to do now. To prepare ourselves to be able to do that right now is going to be one of the best things we can do to prepare ourselves for the millennium. I love these chapters. I'm grateful for what they teach and how they're not just applicable then, but they're applicable now as well. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks as always for sharing these messages. If you like what you see, please click that like button. And of course, if you haven't already, you got to go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Godspeed. Bye-bye.